We are back on SpongeBob Tower Defense, and I've had absolutely enough of those theme teams, enough of the unit reviews, enough of all that stuff. We're gonna go back to our original days. They just dropped an admin abuse about a week ago, and it did end up getting us 3 million levels. Which means we have so many prestige tokens to claim. We have so many rewards to claim. I am gonna have to open up all these mythic chests. I am gonna have to get all these prestige tokens. I only have 35 at the moment. But I do know one thing's for sure is I'm not going to be buying chests today. I already have 53,000 epics, so I probably don't need any more. I also don't need anything from those chests, so what I'm going to be spending them on today is these conches. I'm going to be buying as many conches as possible, and we're going to try and get that shiny Wumbo Jellian leader. If I can't get the Jellian leader, at least hopefully I can 5-star it with the amount of conches that we're about to get today. Now, this is going to take forever. I'm assuming that it's going to take well over 8 hours in order for me to claim all this stuff, so we got to get to claiming, and I'll be back with the final results of how many prestige tokens that we managed to get from 3 million levels. And I cannot tell you how insane I'm gonna go if we manage to pull a shiny Wumbo Jellian leader. So let's get to claiming. I'm going to set an auto clicker, and we're gonna have to get through all of this. We're at 35 right now. We have to go through 3 million levels. It's about 3.2 because I did get that many. I was only level 300,000 before the admin abuse started.
5 hours later.
After hours and hours and hours of opening and claiming, I have finally finished all of the claims. It took me about 12 hours. There were a few resets, so I did waste a couple of hours here and there. But it's time that we check the progress. How many prestige tokens did we get? I think it should be a lot, but let's go ahead and see in 3, 2, and 1. 163,000 tokens and then 163,000 mythics, of course, because you get the same amount either way. So we have 163,000 to open. I don't know how long that's gonna take. Hopefully it doesn't take all night, but I do know one thing's for sure, and we got to start buying all these conches because this is gonna take just as long. So I'll be back when we finally get all of the magic conches that we're supposed to get, and we have 15 right now, so we're gonna have a bunch. I think if we do the math, if it's 10 each, we should be at over 1 million magic conches. Hopefully that will be enough for me to get a bunch of shiny Wumbo Jellians, if not just one. You know, I need a bunch in my life. But realistically, I'm hoping just to get at least 25 so I can 5-star one. So let's go ahead and start claiming all of these conches.
3 hours later.
So it looks like we're finally coming down to the last few. It did take almost 3 hours for me to get all of these finally complete, but there it is. We finally completed the last bit of prestige tokens, which means we can finally stop our auto clicker, and let's go ahead and check how many conches we got. It should be around 800,000. It is 816,000, almost 1 million. Now I'm wondering, should I even open those mythic chests, or should we get straight to opening? I think I'm going to try and open up a little bit of the mythic chest. We'll start out with this exotic chest, and we'll see if we can get anything crazy, but then we'll open up some mythic chests, and we're going to see if we can actually get some good stuff. I'm trying to aim for at least 1 million conches, which I think we can hit with 160,000 mythic chests, but the question is, should I open all of them right now? I'm definitely not going to open up these epic chests because I've been holding on to those for so long, but hopefully we can get enough. So let's go ahead and get to opening. Let me make sure I have all the auto cells on. I do not want any of those extra Helens, and hopefully we don't run out of space. I might have to do some selling before the admin abuse that they're doing with Ice Spice. So I'll be back with some results, and we'll see if I manage to get any shiny Wumbo Filthies, and we'll see how many conches we got. So I've done a bunch of opening, and I've opened about 25,000, maybe a little bit more on the mythic chest, and it's taken hours. So I am going to save that for a separate video, 125,000 mythic chests. But for now, we're going to summon 861,000 of these conches, and we're going to see how many of these Jellians we can get. Now I'm hoping with 800,000 that I can get at least like 5 or 6, but surely we should be good for way more. Of course, first we do have to check if we did pull any of those exotic filthy boys, but it doesn't look like we pulled the shiny Wumbo one, not one that's not dev spawned. So we definitely have to go and try and summon our own with that 125, but let's go ahead and see how many of these Jellians we can get. Enough stalling, we'll be back with all of the results.
Later that night.
So I was summoning all night for maybe about 6+ hours, maybe it was about 6, and I somehow only got through 150,000 of my conches. This might be a multiple day process, but it might be all worth it if I manage to pull one of those shiny Wumbo Jellians. So I am going to go ahead and get a macro of me just auto clicking this for as long as possible, and hopefully I can come back eventually to it finally being done. But there is the Chum Brute quest today, so I am going to have to put this video on pause and go make that video. So it is going to take a little bit longer, but hopefully this is going to be an absolute banger for you guys. Hopefully I can pull that shiny Wumbo Jellian. I do also already have the quest complete for this. I have 4 hours until it does come out, and I already have the 100 days, so I just have to play the 30 minutes and come back and claim as fast as possible.
3 days later.
So this is not even a joke when I say 4 to 5 days later, we have finally finished all of the conch summons. It took that long. There were a few mess ups here and there. Of course, I did have to record the other videos, but this was so crazy. It took so long to hit all of these summons. But as you guys can see, I have absolutely 0 conches left, which means we made it through all 870,000 or so. However many I had, I used every single one. You guys may have seen it on past videos. I did have a bunch of Jellian leaders. So let's count in total how many we got, and let's see if we managed to pull a shiny Wumbo one. I would go absolutely insane, but let's go ahead and click units. It does not look like we pulled the shiny Wumbo one. We still have our regular one that we pulled off the rip. I don't know what serial numbers these are. 37,000. You guys can just see how many have been summoned from my start all the way to the finish. I should have pulled the most recent one, or at least close to it. I did 48,955. So you guys can just see how long it took me to summon all of those, but let's count them in total. We're not going to count this one because I'm going to 5-star this one, but we have enough to 5-star at least one, I'm pretty sure. We have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So that's going to be enough to 5-star one. Then we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 22 in total. So in total, we pulled 47 Jellian leaders. That is an insane amount. I need to reward myself, so let's go ahead and equip this 1,159, and let's go ahead and 5-star this thing up. I'll probably save those Jellian leaders to give away today during the admin abuse, because I will more than likely be live. So if you guys want yourself a free Jellian leader, go ahead and make sure you're there for that. We have an admin abuse today with Ice Spice hosting it. We only need one more star, so let's go ahead and select max and let's confirm, and bang, just like that, we got ourselves a 5-star of the Jellian leader. Now, we didn't originally have one of these when this started, but I did end up trading my original Chum Brute, which was serial 1 million, for what was a number 9 bunker and the maxed out Jellian leader, of course. So I did already have one, but I still get to complete my task of 5-starring a Jellian leader. Let's go ahead and max this thing out. It only takes 336 C-Nut Brittle, and I have 5,000 of them, so I can max out so many exotics. I don't have Power Patty, and I don't have Neptune's Crown on this thing. I don't think I have an extra Power Patty, so I'm gonna have to work towards some of those, or I might have to just wait until the admin abuse today. I can at least Neptune's Crown it though, so let's go ahead and equip that onto the Jellian leader now, and let's see if we got lucky. We didn't. We'll only Pursuit, and we got the Strike one, or whichever one that is. I'm not sure. It's Surge. That's what it is. Let's go ahead and get the right traits on this thing though. We'll stick with Secret Formula and Sea Bear now, just because we have so many OP pets. Now, I do still have a ton of mythic chests, and those I will have to open before we get to the admin abuse today, because I want to make sure I have a little bit of Conches before we end up going into the admin abuse. As a matter of fact, before we end the video, I figured let's go ahead and show off all the secrets we pulled too while working towards these Jellian leaders, because I'm sure I pulled some crazy stuff. I know I did pull a shiny Alaskan Bullworm, and that's a pretty cool pick, so maybe I should go ahead and start that thing up. We did also pull a shiny Dream Gary by the looks of it, so that's a pretty good pull. Maybe I should 5-star that thing too. Let's see if I got anything crazy on the Super Awesome. I did have to auto sell quite a few times because these Garys and all the other secrets were just filling up my inventory way too fast. I did have to stop it quite a few times, but let's see. I did not get anything crazy on the Super Awesomes, but we did get a bunch of Super Awesomes. Not too bad of a summoning. I really wish I could have gotten that shiny Wumbo of the exotic. It would have been really nice to 5-star that thing instead. They also need to add auto selling for the secret tier, especially if they're dropping as much XP as they've been dropping recently. That is going to do it for today's video though. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like down below, comment and subscribe. Make sure to turn on those post notifications so you don't miss out on any future videos or updates. And until next time, I'll see you guys. Peace.